This drive starts outside the Palau de Congreso. It's the Congress Centre in Palma. It's also a hotel, the Meliá Hotel. It's where many of the conferences are held here in Mallorca, particularly during the winter time, but also going on into the summer. So we just set off and we're going along the Paseo Maritimo. That's by the sea, so we've got the sea on the left hand side, a big bus at the moment which is obscuring our view on the right hand side. The golden building that's coming up on the right here is the Hesa building. That's the old gas and electricity building. It's now derelict, but it's a listed building, so they can't knock it down. And the council and the government are arguing about what they should actually do with the building. Various suggestions have been made, but nothing has come to any sort of fruition. As we head now towards the cathedral, we come up on the right hand side to parts of the old wall of the Avenidas. So just up to the right hand side where the cars are going, you've got the Avenidas. This is a road, like an inner sort of ring road, that will take you up to Plaza España. And you can see the old wall there just on the right. And then more on the right, we're looking now, is the Parc de Mar. That's the Park of the Sea. So all behind those trees is a park area, and then there's a big lagoon. You can see some sculptures that are on the side there. And in this lagoon, there is a bar down there. There is a car park as well, but no boats. It's got a big fountain that works sometimes of the year, but I've not seen it recently. They've just been recently resurfacing the flagstones that were down there, which were badly cracked and damaged. And so they've spent quite a lot of time, 6 months or more, taking the old ones up and putting the new ones down, so it should be a lot better. Sometimes they put a big raft in the middle of the lagoon, and they put films on, shows on, particularly in the summertime. And quite often, just around it, there'll be market stalls, special markets that are set up. On the left-hand side, we've got the road that goes out towards the port. This is the old port, and we've just gone past now the cathedral. We're entering now the area called La Lonja, and this is the old fishing area. So on the left-hand side, you'll find the fishing boats. But before this road was built, the sea would have come closer to the right-hand side, which is the area of La Lonja. Lots of interesting bars and restaurants and old buildings along there. And quite often on the promenade just to the right, they have markets as well. There was one just last week. It seemed to pop up and then disappear, and never quite sure why they come and why they go. Lots of traffic lights along the front, but the problem now along the front in Palma is that there's lots and lots of roadworks. The front in Palma is being completely remodelled, and it's a project that's going to take 18 months to 2 years. So they've been going at it now, I suppose, for about 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And so from this part onwards, you're going to find a lot of roadworks. So the road up to the right would take you up towards Majorca and that area of Palma. And now you start to see the roadworks on the right hand side. The left hand side where we're driving hasn't been touched yet, other than the fact that they've moved the road to this side. So we've still got 4 lanes, 30 kilometre per hour restrictions, but they've completely dug up the road on the right, and they're laying new pipes work and doing a lot of construction. And the next turning is a turning we would perhaps normally take, which would take us up to Andrea Doria, and on the way to Sondiretta, and eventually then to Genova. So that's the road on the right that would take us home. But on this occasion, we're just going to carry on so that you can see a little bit more of the Paseo Maritimo. On the left-hand side, we're starting to see more boats that were just going past the Cas Blanc bar. And right in front now is the Palma Auditorium, where we get the big shows. We'll see the auditorium coming up shortly. But we get the big ballets, the operas, and the orchestra that Anita goes to. But you can imagine that as we're driving along here, parking has become a real big issue. That's the auditorium now right in front of us that we're seeing coming into view. And it's where my school had their graduation last year. So there is some parking in the middle, but a lot of parking that was on the other side is now gone. So lots of traffic lights here all the way along. It's fairly slow moving even at the best of times. Notice we've got cloudy skies. We've had cloudy skies for weeks now. All of May and June has been very unsettled after having a wonderful April. Just waiting for the traffic lights to change and then we'll move on. So all the hotels, the bars, the restaurants on the right hand side have become almost inaccessible, really difficult to get to. And I'm just coming up to Hotel Victoria, which is where we were today doing the film for ITV. ITV come over to do just a little bit of promotion there, and we're at the Hotel Victoria. Hotel Victoria just there on the right hand side. A social club which is in the middle here, swimming pool and a club. It looks as though that's going to be knocked down. It's going to have a compulsory purchase, and so this whole social club here, you can see all of that's going to go. I suppose as they're doing that, they're going to knock a lot of the trees down. They're going to remove a lot of the trees, but they will be replaced, and the idea is that the whole of this area all along the Paseo Maritimo will be more of a park and more of a promenade for people to walk upon. So it's going to be a big wide pedestrian area on the side where we're driving now, and we'll still be able to drive on the other side, but they're going to discourage driving along the front. If you are driving, these bumps that we're going over now are quite steep bumps, so you need to go quite slowly over them. On the left hand side is where the bigger boats are being moored, and we're coming up to the area where the cruise liners are. And there's been a lot of construction work in the port as well, so it really has been a building site for the past 6 months, and will continue to be so for quite a while longer. More traffic lights. And then on the right hand side there is another lagoon, but this one does have boats in it, and there is access under the Paseo Maritimo that goes out towards the sea. And then on the left you can see the cranes where the Club de Mar is being reconstructed. And there's a road on the right here that takes you up to Palma. It's the old road that takes you into Palma. But we continue straight on and slightly to the left, which takes you around the Club de Mar. That's the sailing club where all these cranes are on the left hand side. That's the Club de Mar on the left. And then also on the left here we've got the main port for the passenger ships. So if you come on a ferry, a car ferry, or you need a ticket for a car ferry, then that's where you would go and collect them. Sometimes you embark on this side and disembark from this side, but sometimes on the other side, and even at the beginning of the Paseo Maritimo. Right in front you've got one of the oldest lighthouses in the world, and as we emerge from the end of the Paseo Maritimo, we are now in Porto P on the motorway that heads towards Palma, Magaluf, Pagera and beyond. So this on the right hand side is the Porto P shopping centre. Thanks very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye for now.